This is your English teacher R.V. Nagalakshmi from NTR district, Andhra Pradesh. Today we are going to deal with the Beehive 9th class textbook and the very first lesson, the fun they had. Before starting the lesson, let us have an overview of the lesson. In the overview of the lesson, we have 4 parts. The first one is the before you read activity. The second is working with the text by reading the comprehension. Third, working with the language with focus on adverbs. And fourth is the summary and final assessment. Before you start the activity, let us have a look at the learning objectives of this lesson. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to identify the key characters in the fun they had, explain how the lesson provides some ideas about how children will study in the future, describe the differences between the virtual school and the school in the olden days as presented in the story, infer and analyze the questions provided and answer them in few words or a couple of sentences. Summarize the story you have read till now and use the relevant adverbs contextually according to the given sentences. Shall we start with before you read activity? Let's discuss a few things. What does this picture show? It shows about a school. And here comes another picture. What does this show? It is a school bus. Look at another picture. This picture talks about the real teacher in the classroom with a few students participating in the teaching and learning activities. Does this remind you of your school? What would you like to share about your school? You might be recollecting about your favorite teacher or the way you spent in your classroom with your friends and teacher, or you might be recollecting about playing with the friends in the ground. Now let's look some more pictures. If you observe here, the boy is learning through computers. What is the boy doing? He is learning through computers. Here, the girl is surrounded by the technical gadgets instead of the friends. Here, you may see the moving text. In the real book, the words will be static, but in the computer, we will have the moving words. This picture shows about the real teacher in the classroom, and the second picture talks about the robotic teacher which we are going to have in the futuristic schools. Now let's do an activity. In this activity, classify the following words under the given headings. Let us see the words: real teacher, telebooks, robotic teacher, school building, punch code, electric gadgets, friends, and fun. Let's classify these according to the old kind of school and the future kind of school. Are you ready? If you are ready with the answers, check with me. The old kind of school. In this, we will have a real teacher, school building, and friends and the fun. And in the future kind of school, we will have books, punch code, robotic teacher, and electric gadgets. I think you all have done in a very good way. Have you got the same answers? Yes, well done. Let us look about the details of the author of this text. The author of this text is Isaac Asimov. Asimov was an American writer who wrote more about science fiction, fantasy, and non-fiction. The present story, The Fun They Had, was written in the year 1951 and it is a science fiction. Let us start with the reading text. Let's read the text. Maggie even wrote about it that night in her diary. On the page headed 17 May 2157, she wrote, "Today Tommy found a real book. It was a very old book. Maggie's grandfather once said that when he was a little boy, his grandfather told him that there was a time when all the stories were printed on paper. Maggie and Tommy are the two characters here. Maggie came to know about the printed paper only through his grandfather, but she had never seen that till now." How many years ahead the story was set? Can you guess? Can you calculate how many years and months ahead from now Maggie's diary entry is? Let's do the calculation and find out. Here are the options. A. 133 years and a few months. B. 123 years and 2 months. 113 years and 3 months. And D. 132 years and a few months. What is your answer? Let's check with the answer. Here, the answer is A. Well done. Let's continue with the reading. They turned the pages, which were yellow and crinkly, and it was awfully funny to read words that stood still instead of moving the way they were supposed to on a screen, And then, when they turned back to the page before, it had the same words on it that it had had when they read it the first time. Let's check our understanding with a few questions. Here is the question. They turned the pages. Who does they refer to? Is it grandfather and Tommy? Or Tommy and his sister? Or grandfather and Marky? Or Tommy and Marky? Who does they refer to? Who turned the pages of the book? Let's look at the answer. Yes, it is D. Excellent. Let's look at another question. Here is the question. What did they find awfully funny? Awfully means extremely. Let's look at the options. Option A. Moving text on the screen. Words that stood still on book. C. Turning the pages of a book. And D. Yellow and crinkly pages. What did they find awfully funny? Is it about the words or the book being yellow and crinkly or the moving text or the turning pages of a book? Let's look at the answer. Yes, you are right. B is the answer. Wow, great job. Let's continue with the reading text. "Gee," said Tommy, "what a waste. When you are through with the book, you just throw it away, I guess. Our television screen must have had a million books on it, and it's good for plenty more. I wouldn't throw it away. Same with mine, said Marky. What do you understand by the expression through with the book? Let's look at it. Through with the book. It is an idiom, which means to say you have read it completely for many times and you are fed up with it. It is also used as a phrasal verb, which means to say which have read it carefully from the beginning to the end. Let's see the usage of this. My sister says she was through with the book Ignited Minds when she was in class 12th. Let me ask you a question. I wouldn't throw it away. Here, it refers to books, telebooks, television, or a waste. What does it refers to here in this sentence? Yes, you are right. The answer is C. Wow, it's a good job. Let's proceed with the text. She was 11 and hadn't seen as many telebooks as a Tommy had. He was 13. How old were Tommy and Maggie? 11 and 13 or 13 and 11? Both looks the same. Focus on the question. Yes, the answer is B. Because whose age is asked first? Yes, it's a Tommy. So our answer should be 13 and 11. Good job. Let's continue with the reading. She said, where did you find it? In my house, he pointed without looking because he was busy reading. In the attic. Attic is a space just below the roof used as a storeroom. Can you guess the question I am going to ask? Yes, you guessed it right. Where did Tommy find the book? The options are A. In the library, B. In the school, C. In Margie's house, D. In the attic of his house. What is the answer? Yes, it is D. Very good. Let's see what is Margie's next question. What's it about? School. Margie was scornful. School? What's there to write about school? I hate school. Here, Margie is asking Tommy what the book is about, and Tommy replies that the book is about the school. By listening to the word school, Margie becomes very scornful because she hates school. Scornful means dislike. What do you say? Margie loves the school. Is the statement true or false? What do you say? Yes, it is false. Well done. Are you curious to know why Margie hates the school? Let's continue our reading the text. Margie always hated school, but now she hated it more than ever. The mechanical teacher had been giving her test after test in geography, and she had been doing worse and worse until her mother had shaken her head sorrowfully and sent for the county inspector. Here, We got the reason why Margie hated the school most, because the mechanical teacher had been giving her test after test. And in which subject? That is geography. And how is Margie performing? She's performing worse and worse. I have a doubt. Can you clarify it? How will a county inspector solve Margie's problem? Let's see. He was a round little man with a red face and a whole box of tools with dials and wires. He smiled at Margie and gave her an apple, then took the teacher apart. Margie had hoped he wouldn't know how to put it together again, but he knew how all right. And after an hour or so, there it was again, large and black and ugly, with a big screen on which all the lessons were shown and the questions were asked. That wasn't so bad. Let's understand this passage through an activity. Here are the all important words from the red paragraph. We have divided this into column A and column B. Both of them are related. Before matching them, let's read the phrases. In column A, a round little man with red face, large and black and ugly, wires and dials, lessons and questions. All these four words match with some other words in column B. Let's read the phrases in column B. Big screen, mechanical teacher, county inspector, and toolbox. Are you ready to match? Let's find out the answer. Check your answers with me. The round little man with the red face refers to the county inspector. Large and black and ugly says about the mechanical teacher. Wires and dials are found in the toolbox. Lessons and questions are displayed on the big screen. Hope you all scored right. Let's continue with the readings text. The part Margie hated most was the slot where she had to put homework and test papers. She always had to write them out in a punch code that made her learn when she was 6 years old. And the mechanical teacher calculated the marks in no time. In no time? What do you understand by the expression in no time, as the mechanical teacher calculated? The options are A. Very slowly, B. Very quickly, C. A lot of time, and D. Lately. What is the answer? Yes, the answer is B. The mechanical teacher calculated in no time. That means she calculated very quickly. Wow, you understood it well. Let's continue to read the text. The inspector had smiled after he was finished and patted Margie's head. He said to her mother, "It's not the little girl's fault, Mrs. Jones. I think the geography sector was geared a little too quick. Those things happen sometimes. Pat is to touch someone gently to show affection, and geared means adjusted. Let's see how Margie's problem was solved." I have slowed it up to an average 10-year level. Actually, the overall pattern of our progress is quite satisfactory. And he patted Margie's head again. Maggie was disappointed. She had been hoping they would take the teacher away altogether. Here is a question. Why was Maggie disappointed? Because county inspector had remote geography teacher, or because county inspector had not remote geography teacher? Yes, you are right. The answer is B. Very good. Let's find out why Margie is expecting to remove the teacher. They had once taken Tommy's teacher away for nearly a month because the history sector had blanked out completely. Blanked out means not working. So when Tommy's teacher didn't work, it was taken away completely. So Margie is also expecting the same. Let's continue. So she said to Tommy, why would anyone write about school? What do you think? Why would anyone write about school? If you were given a chance, what would you like to share about your school? Gather your ideas and be ready. Now, let's move on to the third part of our overview. It's working with the language based on the text read till now. In this section, we'll refresh our knowledge towards the usage of adverbs contextual. Are you ready to proceed? Do you remember the description of the county inspector? Yes, he was a round little man with a red face. Let's identify some nouns from this. Adverbs tell about the verbs. Adverbs gives more information about verbs. Let's look at some adjectives. Let's find out some adjectives through the emojis. What does it show? He is very angry, but he seems to be very happy. He seems more happy, so we can say merry. But look at the one. He seems more sleepy. Do you know how to change these adjectives into adverbs? Let me share a secret. You can form adverbs by adding ly to the adjectives. Here is an example. Angry, and if we add ly to this, it becomes angrily. Here, remove y and add I. Let's look at some more adjectives changed into the adverbs. Let's try to add ly and make adverbs. Happy, happily. Sleepy, sleepily. Noisy, noisily. And easy, easily. Let's take up an activity. The first activity. Let's find out the sentences in the lesson which have the adverbs given in the box below. They are awfully, sorrowfully, and completely. Let's look into the text and find out. I hope you found the sentences from the text. Here they are. The first sentence with awfully is found from the first paragraph. The second sentence with sorrowfully is found in the third paragraph. The third sentence with completely is found in the fifth paragraph. Here we'll do an activity. Here is the second activity. Read the following sentences and fill in the blanks with suitable words given. Awfully, sorrowfully, completely. The first sentence, I dash forgot about it. Second, the president of the company is dash busy and will not be able to meet you. And the teacher shook her head dash when Ravi lied to her. Fill in the blanks with any of these words that suits contextually. Shall we look into the answers? I completely forgot about it. As the president is busy, we can say the president of the company is awfully busy. He's extremely busy. And when the students lie to her, the teacher always feels sorrowfully. Right? Now, let's summarize what we have learned till now. Here are the main points of the text we have read till now. The present story was set in future in the year 2157. Tommy and Maggie are the major characters. Maggie's mother and county inspector are the minor characters that we came across till now. Tommy found a real book in the attic of his house. They found it funny to read the text, which stood as they're familiar with only moving text. Maggie hates school as she falls back in geography. They're familiar only with virtual classroom and robotic teachers, and their house is their school. County inspector, with the help of tools and wires, adjusts the speed of the teacher according to the age level of Maggie. The assignments are submitted through punch code and marks are calculated by the mechanical teacher. Let's take up a final assessment. Here is the first question. Maggie and Tommy are familiar with printed books. Say yes or no. Yes, the answer is no. That is A. Well done. Let's proceed to the next question. What kind of teachers do Tommy and Maggie have? Real teachers or the mechanical teachers? The answer is right. B. Mechanical teachers. Good job. Let's go for another question. Here is the third question. The pages of the old book were yellow and crinkly or yellow and wrinkled? What do you guess is the answer? Yes, the answer is A. They are yellow and crinkly. Excellent. Let's go to the next question. Here the question is, why did Marky's mother send for county inspector? To remove the geography teacher or to find the reason why Marky was doing bad in geography? What is your answer? Yes, the answer is B. To find the reason why Marky was doing bad in geography. Good. Let's go to another question. The verb awfully means extremely, funny, pleasant, and completely. You are right. The word awfully means extremely. Well said. Here is another question. What is the adverbial form of gloomy? The options are gloomily, gloominess, again gloomily, and gloom. What is the answer? Please focus on the spelling. Yes, the right answer is C. It is Gloomily. Well done. Let's see another question. Complete the sentence. She danced dash. Beautiful or beautifully? Yes, the answer is B. We should use the adverb here. Shall we have another question? Find the odd one out from the four options given here. Telebooks, punch code, robotic teacher, and the classroom. What is the odd one here? Yes, you're right. The answer is classroom. Why? The other three options are related to the mechanical or future kind of school, and the D is related to the old kind of school. Shall we look into another question? What did Maggie write in her diary? Is it about a telebook, or about Tommy, or about a real book, or about geography teacher? Don't get confused and distracted. Pick out the right answer. Yes, you're right. The answer is C. She wrote about the Tommy finding about the real book and not about Tommy. Let's look at the last question. Pick out the adjectives from the given sentence. There was a large, lovely garden in the city. What are the adjectives? Large and garden, large and lovely and city, and garden and city. Yes, the right answer is B. Large and lovely. Let me give you a few suggestions for further reading. Till now, we tried to comprehend the text through multiple choice questions. For further understanding, let's practice to answer the following in a short paragraph with about 30 words each with the help of your teacher. These questions are given at the end of your textbook. A few of them are: what had once happened to Tommy's teacher? Describe how county inspector helped Maggie. Why did Maggie's mother send for the county inspector? Hope you all understood it well. Thank you.